I'll tell you my issue with people like this. And when I say people like this, like I include like my younger self as well because of some of the outfits that I used to wear. But
Sure.
but when you like dress up and you wear tiny little shorts and even with like that the whole Disney scenario thing, we dress that way for attention. And
Hmm.
I can admit that like looking back on it. And so while I think like if you made like a late night version of Pride almost, I think that's a perfectly fine solution. But most likely the people who dress like this, they're not going to be happy with that because if everybody's dressed naked, then they're not going to be getting as much attention. So for them, it's about having that impact in the at the daytime event. But for me, a bit like what you said, the issue with the jockstrap or the hanky, it's just more. It's more of a debate of taste levels. Like,
Oh, taste levels, I think is it's trash. I think it's I think it's crap, like because there are ways to be naked and it actually look quite cool.
yeah,
Like there are different, like he could have done some cool like leather gear with it or body paint or anything. There are people who walk down the parade at Pride and actually all they're wearing is a thong, but they're covered in body paint and it's like an expression. It's really cool.
yeah.
But I just think all he'd actually done was tie a bandana around his thigh and his cock. Also, it was a very small bandana. So why are you trying to show it?
It reminds me of like the tarty auntie that turns up at Christmas all drunk and everyone's like, oh, here she is again.
That
Like
was me. That was 100% me.
that was also me. That's still I am still that relative sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
But like I agree, like I'm here for like freedom of expression and dressing the way you want, and I hate censorship. But I think different rules like for the evening would actually be a good idea because you still want families and children involved, like, and I just feel Pride does celebrate like sexual liberation, but it also represents like same sex love, acceptance, freedom, and I just think the message of Pride and being queer and the one that we try to send out to heterosexual people is of like those things.
Yeah,
But
it just starts conversations with the wrong narrative because what it will do is it will give people that are on the fence about like gay existence and gay rights, and rather than it be like, do you know what? Like, I've changed my mind because they're actually just in the street being happy and spreading this great message, and then it'll
yeah,
turn to, oh my God, did you
they're
see what the gay?
spreading diseases.
Yeah, do you see what the gays are wearing?
But
You
this is
know?
this is why it doesn't work because like our mouths are saying like acceptance and love, but then the bodies are just saying pure sex.
Well, yeah, I mean that's quite often the position we find ourselves in, though, isn't it?
Well, it is, but I just feel like people get angry when straight people say like not necessarily like gay people are slags, but they say that pride is just about sex. But then you have people that get angry in the reverse way, saying like, why are you trying to censor pride? And I just think like you can never fucking win.
I don't think that there will ever be a successful time when there's a like a Pride evening event because of the nature of Pride. So what happens with Pride days in all cities is there's one huge city celebration, and then there are thousands of after parties, and some of them have thousands of people at them, and some of them have 10 people at them, and you can kind of navigate that yourself. So if you want to go out naked, there is already something for you, and that's not
Right,
just on Pride.
exactly. That's very
That's on
true.
every day. You
That's
know.
very true.
So I mean, having the idea of turning it to like Pride in the nighttime. Well, you can have Pride in the nighttime any weekend of the year. If you want to go out naked, there are places that do facilitate that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I just think as well, when you think about like what straight people say about pride, when they're like, well, where is like straight pride? And the argument is always, well, every day is straight pride. But if straight people were walking around the streets in thongs and jock straps, it would probably be classed as indecent exposure, no?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, obviously, we know why there's no bloody straight pride anyway. But yeah, if it was the other way around, you're right, it would be viewed very differently. Because we would say like that's not appropriate.
Yeah,
If it was straight pride and the men were walking down the street with their dicks out, we would be like, disgusting.
No, we had to be like,
Whereas
fucking give it to me, mate.
we'd be like, Sunday, day of rest,
But
not
not
for
for
me.
me.